up, everybody? SuperDuxFan here for another car review. This is, of course, the 2012 Chevrolet Camaro SS 45th Anniversary Edition. Huge thanks to Tom Henry Chevrolet and Tom Henry Racing for hooking me up with this very sweet car to review for you guys today. So, about this SS. Well, I've never actually done a regular SS. I did the ZL1 and the Z28, of course, but the regular SS I kind of wanted to revisit here before the 6th generation comes out. You know, because I really love, you know, these 2012s, especially the 45th Anniversary Edition, which has, you know, the special badging and whatnot, but I just loved the square round kind of headlamps there in the front before they departed to the more rectangular looking ones. And this one just has some great modifications the owner just did to accentuate the already great looks of this car, such as the great BBS wheels you have here in the 70s style, spoiler there in the back that's very aggressive, and just the whole setup of this car is aggressive with 315 wide rear tires there. That just gives it such a mean stance, and this thing's just menacing, you know, with the emblems deleted from the front and obviously being in black. It's just a really mean looking car, and it just matches the performance as well. Whereas for the interior of the 45th Anniversary Camaro, it definitely feels a little more special than the regular Camaro SS. And so first things first, sitting down in these seats, they're pretty nice, you know, a little bit on the wide side. Wish they were a tad bit more aggressive, but you can always upgrade and things like that if you'd like. But overall, these seats I think would fit a lot of body types and still have good healthy bolsters there. And especially, I really like the thigh support. Those bolsters are really, really nice and hold you in well. Next is the steering wheel in the Camaro SS, which is really nice. So for 2012 here, they swapped out the more retro deep dish steering wheel for a more traditional Chevy unit, like you see in all the other Chevrolet products. And this one is obviously, being the 45th anniversary, has a little badge and the red and blue stitching, which is very cool. That's another thing I forgot to mention about the seats, is they also have red, white, and blue stitching, which is a very nice touch, along with the embroidering. But anyway, so getting back to this wheel, it's really nice. It has a pretty good 9-3 grip. It's a little bit of a duck grip, I guess you could say, but overall, pretty nice grip. You have little 10-2 notches here, feel really great in your hands. And overall, just a really nice leather wrapped wheel, nice shape, not too big, just a really great wheel. Next is the gauges in the Camaro SS here, which are great. They swapped the font a little bit here for 2012 as well, I believe. So a little bit more modern looking, but still has the great round retro dials that I like a lot. And it's just very classic looking. You have a little basic screen in the middle there that provides some information, in addition to the nice heads-up display that you have in this car, which will display obviously your speed and temperature and a few other things like your turn signal indicators. But overall, just great. You know, it's the basics. You know, nothing extravagant, but everything you need. I like the kind of back to basics approach, and so that's great. And that also transitions over to the center here, where you have, you know, your basic style radio, which is totally fine, gets the job done, and you know, I don't really have any complaints about it. You know, they're tried and true, they work well, and no frills or extra things, but that's totally fine. The one thing cool that this car does have, though, is a backup camera that's integrated into the rearview mirror, so you still do have some of that high-tech stuff. It doesn't feel Stone Age or anything like that. And coming down, you know, you have your climate control knobs and stuff here, which are basic Camaro stuff still. Feel pretty good, you know, again, not an outstanding feature, but then again, Camaros aren't known for their exceedingly high interior quality materials, but, you know, it's good enough to get the job done, like I said. Coming down to these auxiliary gauges you have, which are very cool, you know, and that's again a very obvious thing that harkens back to the first generation Camaros and the way those gauges were set up, and I love them. I mean, from a functional standpoint, ideally gauges all the way down here aren't very easy to see safely when you're driving, but they're just so cool and so retro that I give them a pass. I think that's great. I love them down there, and it's just very cool to have. As far as storage space goes in the Camaros here, never was a strong suit of them, but it's okay because it's, you know, a performance car, and so that's not something that's high on people's priority list usually. So you have little map pockets here on the doors that are pretty small. You can fit a few little knickknacks in there. That's about it. Otherwise, though, you just have your two cup holders, and then you have this center console, which you can fit a few things in there. You know, it's not super deep, but it's, you know, enough for gum and things like that, and all the basics. And then you have a USB and auxiliary jack, as well as a power outlet, which is nice to have all of those hookups there. And so yeah, that's it as far as the storage space. Like I said, not an abundance, but you have a couple things, and like I said, most people probably won't care. Backseat space in the Camaro is your average coupe backseat. You know, pretty tight. You probably wouldn't want to put anyone back there on a regular basis. Even a child, it'd be a little bit of a tight squeeze. But you know, for in a pinch, they're totally fine. It's great to just have back seats in those rare instances where you may need them. Trunk space in the Camaro is pretty good. Again, average kind of sporty car trunk. You know, fairly shallow, but it goes back a good way, so it's, you know, a little bit deeper than some of the others. But you can fit a good amount of things in there still. And yeah, overall, again, plenty for, you know, a weekend trip, things like that. I wouldn't try and load up an entire week's worth of vacation luggage in there, but it's good enough for, you know, normal driving. All right, so start up and go for a drive. Chevys have the basic, you know, kind of switchblade keys, very cool. And so yeah, just slip it in. Before I do though, I want to say this car is mostly stock, but it does have a few of the basic bolt-on upgrades that make a real big difference. And that includes the intake that it has, a Tom Henry Racing intake. It has a Tom Henry Racing chambered exhaust and headers. So it's straight through, and it also has a tune-on from Tom Henry Racing as well. And this is one of the Tom Henry Racing cars, so they gave it their treatment. And so just not anything huge, but those few basic things that I'm sure are going to make a big difference and will contribute to the wonderful sounds that you're about to hear. So good. Alright, so setting off in the 2012 Chevrolet Camaro SS 45th Anniversary Edition. First thing you notice is that exhaust, which crackles and pops at the low RPMs and sounds great. I'm on this park road that's, you know, not really bumpy, but this car, you know, that crackle and pop is so sweet. Anyway, the ride is great. You know, it doesn't feel too stiff or anything. Like I said, this is stock suspension, so it's going to be set up, you know, to be comfortable yet sporty, like, you know, all Camaro SS's. And so yeah, clutch engagement is actually really easy. It feels really good. This car also has an Mgw Shifter, I believe is what it's called, and so it's really tight and precise. And then you also have this old school ball shift knob that's awesome. The gears are very closely spaced though with this shifter, but that's something that's, you know, easy to get used to after first few shifts. Yeah, I mean, otherwise, you know, visibility in the Camaros as we crackle and pop here is always, you know, not its strong suit. You know, these cars always kind of have you feel like you're driving a tank with very thin windows all around you, but it's easy to adjust to. I don't think that it's really that bad as far as visibility goes. You know, in traffic and stuff, it might be a little trickier, but here, it's totally fine so far, and I don't have an issue with it at all. Alrighty, so let's turn onto the straight road here and see how it does. Oh, it sounds so good. I wouldn't get on too much because I have another red light here, so we'll get on it again, but man, did that sound good. And I'm pulling up next to an SS as well. How about that? Oh man, but those 315s do stick. I mean, I didn't get any wheel spin like you would in a standard SS, I'm sure. And here we go again. Yeah, it just sticks. Wow, I'm surprised. I mean, I can feel it wanting to lose grip, but it doesn't do it. It holds on, and that's impressive. It's it's really sweet. So with this tune and the intake and the headers and exhaust, the owner estimates it's around 480 to 500 horsepower roughly. He hasn't dynoed it yet though, so that's not official, but just a ballpark to give you an idea of what we're working with here. And it's quick for sure. It makes for so much fun. And we'll do a little second gear pull here. It just screams at upper RPM. I love it. Man, this exhaust sounds so good. Thumbs up from another Camaro. Just shows you how awesome the community is for these as well. And just cruising along now at regular highway speeds here. I'll roll the window up and so you can hear me a little bit better. But you know, it's really comfortable. It's a great just cruiser, and you know, with those fat rear tires in the back, it almost feels to me like I'm kind of leaned forward a little bit. You know, it's one of those aggressive old school kind of stances, and like I set up like a drag car or something. It's just awesome, and it's just a lot of fun fun to drive. Like I said, with the way this visibility is with the windows and stuff, it always is an experience. It's always an event to be driving this car. It makes you feel special because of the stance and the chopped roof and everything. It's a very fun car to drive. Another acceleration, because why not? Wow, oh, it's great. Alright, so I'm going to take it on some back roads and see how the handling is. Alright, so this road's a little bumpier now, and you know, we're going at a little bit more of an elevated speed, and I mean, it bounces around a tad bit, but it's really well controlled, and yeah, it handles now. We're on a little bit more of a windy road here, and it handles it really well. I mean, we got Michelin Pilot Super Sport tires on here as well. They're 245 in the front and 315 in the back. So, you know, we have really sticky tires on here as well that certainly help our cause around these corners. But, yeah, it's just, tires really do make a huge difference. But this Camaro, I mean, these already handled so well already that it just totally matches the power, because, you know, so many people think these things are just overpowered and can't handle, you know, because it's a muscle car. Not true at all. This thing is just, it handles so well. I have so much confidence, and you know, you can always do suspension upgrades if you want even more confidence, but even on these bumps and stuff, though, it's well controlled. I mean, I'm feeling really good. That's a really big bump there, and it's just still, it's sticking up, bouncing all over the place, but it's holding its own and doing a good job. Brakes feel good. These are the standard Brembo brakes that you get with the SS here, and they feel really nice. This is really a bumpy, hilly road, though, and really shows how this car keeps its composure. It really does. I mean, it's great. Another really tight corner here. A little dip, like on a roller coaster, and it just hangs on. And wow, yeah, that was really tight. It's one of the tighter corners I've ever taken, and it just does it no problem. We got some hills, and it's just all planted down here. This is a really fun road, though. Steering weight is actually really good too. It feels really natural, which is always nice. You know, I feel what's going on with the front wheels pretty well, and you know, it doesn't feel artificial or anything like that. It has a great feel to it. Yep, no body roll to speak of at all. Really tight corners here with some gravel, and it's still, I mean, I'm going up this hill and it's still gripping. There's a little wheel spin there. I can provoke it, but it's doing a good job. This car is set up so well. The owner did such a good job. I'm just having a blast, as you can tell. It's just so exciting. Wow. What a car, what a road. But anyway, I'm going to keep driving for a little while longer here, and I'll come back and give you some updated impressions. Alright, so I've been driving this car for a while now, and I've backed off a little bit because we're starting to get some rain here. But, man, it's just a phenomenally set up car. I mean, the SS is already a great car from the factory, and I have driven SSs before. I've just never reviewed a regular SS before, and this is definitely a big improvement with just simple stuff: intake, tune, and headers and exhaust, and it's phenomenal. And I mean, with these sticky tires in the back, I mean, you know, even on the most punishing, tiny, twisty little back roads, this thing just stays stuck and just keeps on just gripping and giving you all the fun that you want. And so yeah, overall, just a great car. This shifter, by the way, is great too. It's just gotten to be second nature here as I've been driving it. It's so precise. It's not overly stiff. Some aftermarket, you know, shifters are really, really stiff. This one, it still doesn't break your arm when you're trying to shift it. You know, it takes a little bit of muscle, but it's not overbearing at all, and really feels great. I sampled the audio system for about 30 seconds because this exhaust is so much better to listen to, but the stereo is also pretty good, and you know, I like it. And so overall, you know, just a really fun car. And I just wanted to do this, like I said in the beginning, to kind of harken back to, you know, the original origins of the Camaro here, as it's, you know, been revived for this 5th generation. And it's such a phenomenal return to the muscle car, while still giving you the modern performance, the balance, the handling that some of those old muscle cars weren't known for. You know, that's just something they didn't have, and these ones have it all. They have the whole package, and it's just, you couldn't really want more. It's really that great. And so yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with the 6th generation here. That'll be coming out this fall, and you know, be lighter and faster and better in every way probably. But these old ones just, they've so, and this isn't even old, it's a 2012, but these 5th gens just have so much character, and I love the, you know, in-your-face retro look that they had, and that's something that might not ever be replicated again. So really enjoyed reviewing this one here, and yeah, so let me know what you guys think about the 5th generation versus the 6th gen and whatnot, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.